Hi you guys, it is I, your very own Amaru, and I'd like to welcome you to a new episode of Food and the Single Guy. On this episode of Food and the Single Guy, I'm gonna cook you something from Thailand. Yes, this episode is inspired by my trip to Thailand many years ago. Thai food is really delicious. It can be spicy sometimes, but it is well worth it. Anywho, so what I'm gonna cook for you today is a delicious little soup. It is called Tom Kha Gai. Okay, and basically what it is a coconut soup. It is made with coconut milk, with chicken, and a lot of fragrant ingredients such as lime leaves, galangal root, and lemongrass, among which, and of course, some red hot chili peppers. It is a very simple yet very delicious little soup. And up here at the tropical supermarket, in the frozen food section, they sell something that is called tom yum mix, and it contains chili peppers, galangal root, and lemongrass, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to insert a picture for you right now so you can see what I'm talking about. On the left, we have the tom yum mix, and on the right, we have the lime leaves. Now, let me tell you something. If you can find these ingredients in your neck of the woods, do yourself a favor and invest in them, okay? Because they will make all the difference in your cooking. I'm going to list all the ingredients for you in the information box below the video. So without further ado, my dear people, let us continue. All right, beautiful people. So let's get on with it. It is preparation time, and what I have here is my chicken, which I've seasoned with a slight dusting of garlic powder, and that is what I always do. I always like to season my chicken with something, be it a little bit of salt or a little bit of garlic powder. That is what I like to do, okay? And as you can see, I am not using chicken breasts. I am using chicken thighs because that's a more succulent part of the chicken, and this works very well for this soup, I find, okay? So next, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set this to one side to marinate for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now you guys, what I also like to use for my version of this soup are these chestnut mushrooms, which I'm gonna cut into fours in a minute. I love them. But I also use these oyster mushrooms, and they have a nutty flavor, and they are somewhat fleshier, and I like that. So let me go ahead and chop these babies up so we can move on with the rest of the episode. Okay, you guys, so many episodes ago, one of you asked me in the comments to show you what the galangal root looks like because I use it quite often in my cooking. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, it very much resembles ginger. And in actual fact, it is related to the ginger. This is the root. This grows beneath the soil, obviously. And this is where the stems sprout. Okay, so this is the part that is above ground. So what I'm going to do now, I am simply going to cut the galangal root, and it's quite tough, unlike ginger, because ginger is a little softer. But unlike ginger also, this is something that I also have to say, unlike ginger, the galangal root doesn't have that fiery taste that ginger does have, okay? The galangal root has a very sweet taste, and as I always like to describe it, with an aftertaste of rose petals. So we're simply going to chop the galangal root into nice chunks, and you want to remove the stem, okay? We're not going to use this part. Let me go right ahead and remove the stem, just like so. Set this to one side, and I'm going to use all of it because this soup has to be very flavorful. So basically what you're going to do, you're simply going to slice it into chunks, just like so. See? Nothing to it. One more time. Here we go. And this is a thicker part, so we're going to slice it into 4. See? There we go. So let us move on to the rest of the ingredients. Okay, you guys, so what I have here are the rest of the ingredients. Over here, I have a tomato, which I've de-seeded. Right here, I have the lemongrass, which I have crushed. I have 3 red chili peppers right here. I have not removed the seeds. Over here, I have the galangal root. Over here, I have the lime leaves. And over here, I have a purple onion that I have finely chopped. Okay, you guys, so let us move on to the actual cooking, because what I'm going to do now, I am simply going to toast the aromatics. We're talking about the galangal root, the lemongrass, the onions, the peppers, and the lime leaves. We're not going to add any oil to the pot. We're simply going to, toast the aromatics, as I just said, just like so. Alright, we're going to start with the galangal root, the lime leaves, and the lemongrass. And the reason you do this is to release the flavor of these ingredients and take advantage of that to the max. Okay? We're simply going to let them toast a little bit. And already it smells delicious, let me tell you. And you're going to allow this to sizzle for about a minute or two before adding the pepper. And give that a stir. And you're going to allow it to continue to toast on medium heat. Doesn't that look gorgeous? And baby, when I tell you, it is smelling gorgeous too. Wow. So next we're going to add the onion. And we're going to give it a nice stir. So next what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some chicken stock to deglaze the pan. There we go. Next, we're going to bring this to a gentle simmer. And some people like to use some water or some chicken stock to blanch the herbs instead of toasting the herbs, okay? That is also a way of making this soup. But this is the way I was taught how to make this soup, so hence. Okay, you guys, so next what I'm going to add is my chicken. There we go. And I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. So now you're simply going to allow this to continue to simmer gently before adding the coconut milk. Alright? So next I'm about to add the coconut milk, and I'm using coconut cream, which is creamier than your regular coconut milk. And this is a can of 400 mils. Now what I'm also going to add is some water, about 1 can, right, of the coconut cream. There we go. Baby, when I tell you this is looking good, it is smelling good, you got to believe me. Ooh, honey. So you're simply going to allow this to simmer. Now next we're going to add about 125 mils of fish sauce. Let us not forget about the tomatoes. And let us not forget about the mushrooms. I'm not going to add all of them, just half. And last but definitely not least, what we're also going to add is about a tablespoon of brown sugar. There we go. And of course, we're going to give it a good stir. And we still have to add the oyster mushrooms, you guys, but we're going to add those at the very last. Because if you add them now, they're going to turn into mush. And that is not what you want, because oyster mushrooms really don't need a hell of a lot of cooking. So let me turn down the heat and allow this to simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, you guys, so it's been about 7 minutes, and as you can see, our soup is steaming away nicely. So let's have a look-see at what's going on. Baby, this is looking good. This is smelling good. My word. So let me go ahead and taste this. Ooh, honey. When I tell you this is good, oh my gosh, this is so good. My word. Now let me go ahead and add the oyster mushrooms, and then we're going to turn off the heat, and we're simply going to allow the oyster mushrooms to tenderize by the heat of this soup. we're going to gently stir them into the soup, just like so. Now, traditionally in Thailand, they would add a generous squeeze of lime juice to the soup. When I was in Thailand, they served the lime juice in a separate bowl, and I quite liked that because when I added the lime juice to the soup, I didn't really like that combination, but that is how they do it. So I am not going to add any lime juice to mine. I am simply going to serve the lime juice separately. And also what they like to add is a generous amount of coriander. Now, if there is one thing I don't like, it's coriander, okay? Next to nutmeg. Those are the two spices or herbs that I really don't like. So I'm not going to add coriander to my Tom Kha Gai. But traditionally, that is how it's done. Now, baby, this soup looks ready to be plated, and I cannot wait to dazzle you with the final presentation. And there you have it, my delicious Tom Kha Gai. Doesn't it look gorgeous? Baby, let me tell you, it was gorgeous too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I always tell you on this channel or on my social media, I share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly, okay? I am not one to fake it to make it. I share with you the good stuff and the bad stuff because that is what it is over here, okay? No pretense, no nothing. And that is exactly what this food is. It is simple food without any pretense. Okay, you simply cook it and you eat it and you're going to be satisfied to the max. All right? Now, if you decide to try to make your own Tom Kha Gai, let me know how it turned out because I'm always interested in hearing from you. In the meantime, do be well, take care, happy cooking, happy eating. Don't add crazy to the craziness, and I will see you when I see you. Have a good one, you guys. Bye.